Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, UK Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about breaking news. UK migration crisis, migrants returning home. In recent weeks, the United Kingdom has faced a surge of violence and unrest sparked by the housing of migrants in local communities. The tension has escalated from isolated incidents to nationwide protests and clashes, with cities like Belfast and Sunderland experiencing significant turmoil. As the UK grapples with an unprecedented influx of migrants and the political and social challenges that accompany it, the situation has revealed deep divisions and heightened scrutiny of migration policies. This complex crisis touches on issues of human rights, community strain, and political debate, necessitating a nuanced and compassionate approach to address both immediate concerns and long-term solutions. If you are interested in this, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Rising tensions, violence erupts over migrant accommodation. In recent weeks, the UK has witnessed escalating violence in response to the housing of migrants in local communities. The situation came to a head in Belfast, where a hotel accommodating migrants became the focal point of intense clashes between protesters and police. The violence and unrest have spread nationwide, with more than 24 protests occurring across the country. Last night, Sunderland was particularly hard-hit, with its streets left scarred by the worst violence seen in recent weeks. Authorities have issued stern warnings that those responsible for the violence will face stringent legal action. The necessity for police operations to restore order and protect both migrants and local residents has become imperative. Nationwide unrest, the surge of protests and clashes. The frequency and intensity of protests have surged across the UK, reflecting deep-seated tensions surrounding migration policies. In Manchester, a supermarket was ransacked by a mob fleeing from police, showcasing the chaotic scenes unfolding in urban areas. Amidst the turmoil, counter-protests have also emerged, with anti-fascist groups demonstrating their opposition to the violence and advocating for a more inclusive approach to migration. These counter-protests highlight a growing sense of community resistance against the tide of violence and a commitment to supporting refugees and migrants. Migration crisis, record arrivals and tragic losses. Since January, the UK has experienced an unprecedented influx of migrants, with over 8,000 people arriving on the English coast, setting a new record for this period. Tragically, at least 15 individuals have lost their lives in the perilous journey across the Channel. The figures reflect a growing migration crisis that continues to challenge UK authorities and communities. As of 2022, approximately 14% of the UK's population was foreign-born. A percentage that aligns with other affluent nations but remains lower than countries like Australia and Canada. The ongoing migration crisis underscores the need for comprehensive and humane policies to address the complex issues faced by both migrants and host communities. Political response, debates and policy challenges. The response to the migration crisis has been a contentious topic in UK politics. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has addressed the situation, noting that migrants are acutely aware of the political implications of their journeys, often influenced by traffickers' promises. Despite the challenges, Sunak has emphasized the need for effective policies to manage migration and deter illegal crossings. However, there are growing concerns about the feasibility and effectiveness of current strategies, including controversial plans to deport migrants to Rwanda, which have faced significant criticism and legal challenges. The reality of migration, perspectives and challenges. From the perspective of migrants themselves, the journey and subsequent challenges are fraught with uncertainty and hardship. Individuals like Mahmoud from Jordan and Aladdin from Syria face grim realities as they navigate a slow asylum process and limited work opportunities. The disparity between their hopes for a better life and the harsh conditions they encounter underscores the urgent need for systemic reforms to address the backlog in asylum applications and provide meaningful support to those in need. Asylum process, backlogs and policy reforms. The UK's asylum process is struggling under the weight of a significant backlog, with more than 166,000 people awaiting a decision at the end of the previous year. The situation is exacerbated by the slow pace of processing applications and the lack of adequate accommodation. Recent pledges by the Labour government to prioritise asylum claims from illegal migrants and process up to 100,000 applications aim to address the backlog. However, the effectiveness of these measures remains to be seen, and the challenge of balancing deterrence with humane treatment continues to be a major issue. International comparisons, migration policies and challenges. The UK's approach to migration is not unique in its challenges, as many European countries and the United States grapple with similar issues. The rise in illegal crossings and the difficulties in managing migration flows highlight the need for coordinated international efforts. The UK's recent efforts to strike deals with countries like Turkey and Albania reflect a broader strategy to address the migration crisis, but the outcomes of these agreements and their impact on reducing illegal crossings remain uncertain. Human rights and migration deterrence, a delicate balance. The debate over human rights and migration deterrence remains a contentious issue. Critics argue that policies aimed at deterring migrants, such as the controversial Rwanda scheme, fail to address the root causes of migration and may exacerbate humanitarian concerns. The challenge lies in finding a balance between maintaining effective border control and upholding human rights obligations as the UK continues to grapple with these issues. The need for a nuanced and compassionate approach to migration remains critical. Local impact, housing crisis and community strain. The impact of the migration crisis extends beyond national politics to affect local communities. The strain on housing and public services is evident, with the need for additional accommodations and support systems becoming increasingly pressing. The housing crisis is compounded by the influx of migrants, creating challenges for local authorities and communities. The current approach to housing and supporting migrants requires urgent reassessment to address both immediate needs and long-term sustainability. The future of migration policy, prospects and solutions. Looking ahead, the future of migration policy in the UK will likely involve continued debate and adjustment. The Labour government's approach, including recent policy shifts and proposed reforms, will play a crucial role in shaping the direction of migration management. Addressing the complex issues surrounding asylum, border control, and migrant integration will require a comprehensive strategy that balances security concerns with humanitarian considerations. As the situation evolves, ongoing dialogue and policy innovation will be essential to effectively navigate the challenges and opportunities presented by migration. Conclusion: navigating the complexities of migration. The UK faces a multifaceted migration crisis that encompasses political, social, and humanitarian dimensions. The challenges of managing increasing migrant flows, addressing backlogs in asylum applications, and balancing deterrence with human rights are central to the ongoing debate. As the country grapples with these issues, the need for a compassionate and effective approach to migration remains paramount. The path forward will require thoughtful consideration of both policy and practice to ensure a fair and sustainable solution for all involved. The ongoing migration crisis in the UK highlights the urgent need for a balanced and humane approach to managing both the immediate challenges and broader implications of migration. As violence and unrest reflect deep-seated tensions, the response to this crisis will shape the future of migration policy and community relations. Addressing the backlog in asylum applications, managing local impacts, and navigating political debates are all critical to finding a sustainable path forward. A thoughtful and empathetic strategy will be essential to reconcile security concerns with humanitarian obligations, ensuring that the UK's approach to migration remains both effective and compassionate. That is all for today. In this video, what are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel UK Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about breaking news: UK migration crisis, migrants returning home. In recent weeks, the UK has experienced escalating violence related to accommodation of migrants. Protests and clashes, particularly in Belfast and Sunderland, have intensified as communities react to the housing of migrants in local hotels. Authorities are warning that legal action will be taken against those inciting violence, and police efforts to restore order are ongoing. This unrest has spread across the country, with a rise in both violent protests and counter-protests advocating for a more inclusive approach to migration. The UK has seen a record number of migrants arrivals this year, with over 8,000 people arriving by sea, leading to at least 15 fatalities during the perilous journey. The migration crisis reflects a broader challenge, as approximately 14% of UK population is foreign-born, a figure that aligns with other affluent nations but is lower than some countries. Political responses have been contentious, with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak emphasizing the need for effective migration policies while facing criticism over plans to deport migrants to Rwanda. The asylum process is struggling with a significant backlog of over 166,000 people awaiting decisions, exacerbated by slow processing and inadequate accommodation. Migrants like Mahmoud from Jordan and Aladdin from Syria face long waits and limited work opportunities, highlight the urgent need for reform. The UK's approach to migration is part of a broader international issue, with similar challenges faced by other European countries and the US. Recent efforts, including deals with countries like Turkey and Albania, aim to address the crisis, but the effectiveness remains uncertain. The balance between migration deterrence and human rights is a major concern, with critics arguing that current policies may worsen humanitarian issues. Local communities are also feeling the strain from the increased demand for housing and public services. Looking ahead, the UK will need to navigate these complex issues with the newest approach, balancing security and humanitarian considerations to develop effective migration policies.